Well, welcome back, people. I'm here to talk about owning your authority. You can do it. You have a path now. Oh, you got such a powerful path. They're calling this the Moab, the mother of all bombs, the RIT. And I'm going to continue reading. Uh, this is this is Citizens Arrest Authorities Universal. So I read into page 3. I'm gonna continue the reading. I think I can get through this. Um, but first, I'll tell you a little bit more. Put a little commentary in here. Um, the the water treatments that exist today should have been mothballed in the 80s. Uh, it looks like well over 90% of the water that we consume is toxic. It's killing us, and it's mass genocide. And these sewers are a revenue stream for the deep state. It's amazing. I hear Chicago's budget is 90% funded by the sewers. And so you're drinking toxic water, it's making you sick. I hear 17,000 Americans die every day of cancer directly from drinking the water from their everyday water supply. Not just drinking it, bathing in it, breathing the steam, cooking with it, all of it. And it's your pets too, and your livestock. So the environmental court is an international court, and it's a high court. And everyone that's oh my goodness, everyone basically that's in service is a 6-time felon. Anyone that's in service in the government, responsible corporate officers. Now, the laws were hidden, the court was hidden, and this was done by the bar. There's an award just for filing the paperwork, and you can do this anonymously. In fact, it's suggested and set up that you do it anonymously. Your information will go to the court, so you get your award. So it's $2,000 just for owning your authority every time you do it. And there's a bounty award for those that make the arrest. And all you policemen, all you deputies, you're all citizens. You can make these arrests. All you want to be whistleblowers, you get stomped on. You want to do the right thing. You're in law enforcement. You want to do the right thing. You speak up when you see wrong, and what happens? You get destroyed for it. Over and over and over. This is a pattern. It's to the point now where I'm hearing statistics that 50% of lower law enforcement is in that position. They've had it. They've watched the payoffs. They've watched the bribes. They've watched the just shuffle it over here. Don't talk about it. And they've had it. So that's a very interesting statistic. It really is. So come on over to the Telegram channel, the PBI Telegram channel, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I misspoke in the last video. I said Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And as it turned out, that was a Wednesday, and there was a chat, voice chat. So this is picking up steam. Many writs have been served. And there is a process. There's resolution letters. There's cover letters. Maybe resolution document would be a better word. Cover letter, the writs, the water report. And then, of course, it's all got to be done registered mail. But every one of them, every one of these judges, every one of these prosecuting bar attorneys, every sheriff, every governor, every mayor, and on and on and on and on and on, they're all guilty. They've been charged, convicted, 6-time felons, repeat habitual offenders, poisoning you. All right, so enough said for the moment. Get the pipes ready here, get my eyes on, and I'll finish reading this. So I'll pick up where I left off, kind of. I'm going to read this part again. This is the part that I wanted to get to because it's important, and I got there on the first reading. So here we go. The Environmental Court was established by an act of Congress on October 18th, 1972. It was established to be a separate court and a separate court system from the courts of the United States. It is a Supreme Court of the people, for the people, and by the people. As you have noted in court documents, environmental crimes are crimes against humanity. The penalty for crimes against humanity is death by hanging. The Environmental Court has zero tolerance for insubordination. Upon any failure for any person to dishonor an order of the court, they will be indicted for being complicit, and a bench warrant will be issued for $10,000. Arrest award offered. This is a career shift, not a career change. If interested, sign and return notice of less pendants to address provided. The Secretary of the U.S. Treasury must pay all costs of defense of public health and welfare as confirmed by the law of the land in Articles of Confederation, Article 8, to wit, all charges of war and all other expenses that shall be incurred for the common defense of general welfare and allowed by the United States and Congress assembled shall be defrayed out of the common treasury. All right. Sip of coffee here. All right. Public offense. That's in quotes. It is read similarly as breach of peace in this case and includes felonies, misdemeanors, and infractions. Note that there is generally no provision for an investigation detention by private persons under the law. With certain exceptions, see below, an arrest must be made. Holding them until the police get there is simply a form of arrest. The officer is accepting the arrest and processing the prisoner on behalf of the private person or deputy environmental marshal. In this case of felonies, a private person may make an arrest for a felony occurring outside his presence, But the rule is that a felony must have, in fact, been committed. For example, imagine a suspect has been seen on surveillance video vandalizing a building to the extent that the arrestor believes it rises to a felony due to the damage. If he finds the suspect and makes the arrest, but it later turns out that it was a misdemeanor damage, the arrestor is liable for false arrest because a felony had not, in fact, been committed. However, when a private person or environmental marshal or deputy takes action to carry out an arrest for criminal violations of Public Law 92-500, Federal Water Pollution Control Act amendments of 1972. I butchered that, so I'm going to back up, all right? Violations of Public Law 92-500, Federal Water Pollution Control Act amendments of 1972. Every person, to include all states, political subdivisions, federal agents, public servant, citizens of the United States, are operating in felony violation and subject to immediate arrest. See also the Communist Profiler of the International Environmental Court Uniform Universal Judgment Award in case number ENC 201215. A bond number IEC 20140804, date of filing 8/16/2014, UCC 2014-228-6792-3, is bonding this claim as part of the world's environmental reconstruction project of NSEA, International for Clean Water, Clean Air, Clean Food, Clean Government, and Clean Earth. Pursuant to the Clean Government Program and under the authority of International Environmental Marshal Service, under writ of execution and the supreme law of the land as provided for in the Articles of Confederation, Article 8, upon proof of booking and detention of convict, the Secretary of the United States Treasury is authorized to pay to the citizen or citizens making the arrest, that's citizen or citizens, right, making the arrest, $1,000 for arrest if convict turns themselves in within 72 hours upon official receipt of notice of violations and a notice of liability for committing criminal violations. So you get $2,000 just for owning your authority and serving the paperwork, which might take you an hour, cost you about $50. Probably take you several hours to just get up to speed and learn. But at any rate, that's what happens if the convict turns himself in. Now, it goes on, $10,000 for the arrest if the citizen or authorized enforcement officer, bond agent, environmental marshal, or deputy or deputies must go take the convict into custody. $15,000 plus expense for arrest of the convict if the convict fails, refuses to settle, or turn themselves in, and the deputy must travel in excess of 300 miles to make the arrest. All right, now there's this is in here. This is a note at the bottom of the page with a 1. So there's a 1 up in there that this must reference. It says person defined under 33 USC 13625 in brackets, to include, and in quotes, responsible corporate officer as defined under 33 USC 131319, and then a small c in brackets. exempt people, fellow citizens, and citizens of America are the beneficiaries of the relief award by the court. I got some more reading to do here. First, I gotta have a sip of coffee. Exercise the lungs a little bit. Apparently, I don't have enough lung to read and keep a cigarette going. I do. It's just that the reading here is really got my attention because it's so important for all of you. Because this is how you're going to own your authority. Because most states have codified their arrest laws, there are many variations. For example, in Pennsylvania, the courts have been clear that a citizen cannot make an arrest for a summary offense. In North Carolina, there is no de jure citizen's arrest. Although it is essentially the same, North Carolina law refers to it as a detention. However, under environmental law and in the interest of public health and welfare and pursuant to supreme law of the land, more specifically, Section 2, Section 505, Citizen Suits of Public Law 92-500, even a de facto citizen of the United States who is subject to the United States has authority to make an arrest of any other citizen suspect of committing a crime punishable as felony under the law. All right, so a little time for a little commentary. If I understand that correctly, and I believe I do, that means all you lower law enforcement, they got whistles to blow. And you get crushed for it, the game has changed. You can now go arrest your superiors at a point. Do the paperwork first. And a lot of it's been done. This is just getting rolled out, and well over 100 writs have been served. So believe me, there's talk going around in the deep state, and these people got nowhere to go except to come to Jesus, or a dire alternative. So this is very important for all of you that are walking around with guns, with badges, to know. We're not relying on you. We the people got this. You're part of we the people. And this is a good versus evil. What's going on is so terrible. Poison the water, make us sick, treat us with poisons, and suppress healthy lifestyle, healthy food, healthy water, healthy herbs, gum tissue rejuvenation. Oh, they put me in jail and spent $1.8 billion to ignore my evidence and find another way to do it. When they fail, they attack my patent. And that's just a little teeny bit of the story. I got 4 videos connecting the dots and connecting the dots 2, 3, and 4. And then all these other videos. Because we got to own our authority. And I don't know that there's anybody sitting in prison that's ever had a trial by jury. No, it's kangaroo courts, jury trials. And most of them are in there because they copped a plea because they were too scared, because we're all so dumbed down. Anyways, it's all changing. All right. pick back up on the reading here. We're almost done. Another page or page and a half, I think, maybe. The International Environment Court has upheld that international environmental law pertaining to the public health and welfare is supreme law of the land that supersedes all other law and provides for warrantless arrest. All three categories of violations listed in the Federal Water Pollution Control Act are different classes of criminal. Every citizen has a duty to arrest upon having knowledge of any person who is the owner or the operator of source of pollution. The International Environmental Court retains jurisdiction over unlawful discharges of pollutants in violation of congressionally mandated effluent standard or limitation, to wit, citizen suits, and hyphen small f in bracket, effluent standard or limitation. For the purpose of this section, the term effluent standard or limitation under this chapter means: 1, effective July 1st, 1973, an unlawful act under subsection A of section 1311 of this title. 2, an effluent limitation or other limitation under section 1311 or 1312 of this title. 3, standard of performance under section 1316 of this title. 4, prohibition, effluent standard or permanent standard under section 1317 of this title. 5, a standard of performance or requirement under section 1322 P in brackets of this title. 6, a certification under section 1341 of this title. 7, a permit or condition of a permit issued under section 1342 of this title that is in effect under this chapter, including requirement applicable to reason of section 1323 of this title. Or 8, a regulation under section 1345 of this title. Now, part of what I just read there says that anybody that's requiring a permit for a septic or a license operating water systems, sewage, or what have you, that's all criminal acts. And that's conspiracy, and that's RICO. Every one of these health departments that are requiring septic tanks, sewage systems, water treatment plants, and licensing and permitting and charging, it's all in violation of environmental law. Septic tanks and sewer plants were supposed to be mothballed in the 80s, and you're supposed to be drinking water from the most advanced technology to provide clean, pure water. That's what that means. And more. All right. And of course, this is available for you to read at the PBI website, along with all the other paperwork. Citizen suits. A, authorization, jurisdiction. The district courts shall have jurisdiction without regard to the amount in controversy or the citizenship of the parties to enforce such an effluent standard or limitation, or such an order, or to order the administrator to perform such act or duty, as the case may be, and to apply any appropriate civil penalties under the enforcement section 1319, small d in brackets, of this title, to wit, small d in brackets, civil penalties, factors considered in determining amount. This thing skipped on me. Get back to where I was. There we go. Any person who violates 1311, 1312, 1316, 1317, 1318, 1322, small p in brackets, 1328, number 1 in brackets, or 1345 of this title, or any permit condition or limitation implementing any of such sections in a permit issued under section 1342 of this title by the administrator or by a state, or in a permit issued under section 1344 of this title by a state, or any requirement imposed in a pre-treatment program approved under section 1342, small a in brackets, 3 in brackets, or 1342, small b in brackets, 8 in brackets, of this, and any person who violates any order issued by the administrator under subsection, small a in brackets, of this section, shall be subject to a civil penalty not to exceed $60,000 per day for each violation, CPI adjusted. Upon arrest for violation or violations, the standard civil damage claim shall systematically follow in the standard at law amount of 10,244, no, what is that? 10,244,659,275.90 US dollars per person, as was provided for on the 25th day of August 2021, as adjudicated by the court in a consent judgment award against the state of Texas, ETAL. The people of the United States of America versus the state of Texas, ETAL. Persons subject to liability and civil judgment claims. Individuals, corporations, responsible corporate officers, partnerships, associations, states, municipalities, commissions, to include all political subdivisions of the state and every interstate body. Conditional immunity is available under some circumstances. Private persons, the people, state citizens, and fellow citizens have immunity under the Bill of Rights Amendment to the Constitution for the United States. Article 6. Even civilian persons who are citizens of the United States and subject thereto, who do not have rights under the Bill of Rights, such as local police and law enforcement officers, are occasionally granted immunity from civil or criminal liability. 38 U.S. Code 902, Enforcement and Arrest Authority of Department Police Officers, subsection, small a in brackets, 1 in brackets, capital A in brackets, authorized enforcement of the Federal Water Pollution Control Act as a primary duty. It is decreed, the court, September 22nd, 2021. Then we got the court seal, clerk of the court, seal of the court. This is no joke, folks. So, You got a court of the people, by the people, for the people. It is going to receive enforcement through the IRS, the Treasury. Once these people are served, they're pretty much done. Now, is there opportunity to beg and plead for mercy? And they'll go before a 3-person tribunal because remember, they're all convicted. This is going back to the 70s. To the 70s that they have been hiding this, keeping this from us. It goes back even further than that as far as the poisoning goes. Poisoning of your minds, dumbing you down. And I constantly, someone's got an issue. If it's not you, it's somebody you know. Oh, you need an attorney. Right. There's the enemy. Oh, what are you going to do then? Going to go before a few more enemies. Bar attorney, judge, who's not a judge. It's administrative process. They've just absolutely corrupted the system. And now we have a higher court with enforcement. So you get paid just for doing the paperwork. You don't have to make an arrest. There are plenty of men that are ready, men that are in law enforcement, men that are in the military, men that have been in law enforcement, men that have been in the military, and then just men that are suited, trained just for this kind of thing. So there's a resolution letter for the sheriffs. There's a resolution letter for responsible corporate officers. It's not an overwhelming task to understand it all. So join the PBI Telegram voice chat on the PBI Telegram channel. The link is in the description of this video. Go to the PBI website and start reading, and then take a look at the documents. Come join the channel. Read the welcome post. Gets reposted quite often, so if it's not at the bottom, you won't have to scroll up far to find it. And just follow the instructions and join the chat. We're here to clean it up. We're done with this suppression, all the bribes and all the payoffs just to keep all these treasonous rats fat and happy while you're suffering, while your loved ones are in prison. Well, they're giving you poison water, poison food, poison air, poison in your minds, treating you with poison control experts, dispensing poison known as doctors, enemies of the people, British agents, administering you without any jurisdiction. And now a lot of these Admiralty maritime courts are absolutely refusing to enforce federal law in a lot of small cases, like right to travel and things like that. So then you got to go get another enemy, and you got to go to a higher court. Well, that's all over, folks. And if you're in a case, you got to get out of it before you're serving the writs. And you can do that. You can remove your case from those administrative courts and into the environmental court. You can do that. Come to the Telegram voice chat and learn about it. All right, everybody. I love you. We're going to be free. We're going to be drinking clean water. We're going to be living healthy. We're not going to have tooth decay and receding gums and poor oral health. We're going to get rid of all the heart attacks. 90% of heart attacks come from oral plaques found in the high pressure ventricle, according to Dr. Thomas Levy. And that's all because of toxic teeth like root canals. And it's caused the majority of breast cancer and can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory disease. But hey, they want me in jail or they want me dead. They certainly want me out of the way. They have attacked and attacked and attacked. And I keep on fighting back because I love you. And what they are is pure evil. Pure evil. Poisoning us. Your mothers, your fathers, your grandmothers, your grandpas, your kids, your grandkids, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your friends, your pets, your livestock, everything. We've had enough. The Canadians are seething. Oh, and this is not just USA. No, the Environmental Court is an international court. And the People's Bureau investigation is a tool. Everyone is born an agent. Everyone can be an agent. Own your authority, people. Own your authority. You have the path in front of you now. All right. Much love. We'll be back soon.